Hi, and welcome KCIW listeners at 100.7 FM or online at kciw.org, Brookings, Oregon. Hi to our syndicated listeners at KZZH 96.7 FM, Access, Humboldt, Eureka, California, and our listeners at KSKQ 89.5 FM, Ashland, and 94.1 FM, Medford, Oregon. This is Joyously Free Radio with me, Joanie Lindenmeyer, the best-selling author of None Better, An Amazing Love Story, and co-author of Joyously Free and Healing Religious Hurts. I am so glad that you are tuning in today. We're going to have a great time on this show. I'm a resident of Harbor, Oregon, a retired high school teacher, a recent author who has published 3 books in 2 years, created an audiobook, and with friend and film producer Michael Gorse, created a short film called Wowzer. Life is just one big bowl of cherries right now. But most of all, right now, this very moment, I love life and love being the producer and host of this high-energy, joyously free radio-gadio show, so named by my friends Will and Viv. This show talks about LGBTQ plus stories and tips, along with religion, church, faith, spirituality, and joy. Most importantly, it is about abundant joy and freedom, hence the title Joyously Free, which is also the name of my second book that I co-authored with Elizabeth Ann Atkins of Two Sisters Writing. In this radio broadcast today, just as in every day of my life, no hate speech, no hate behaviors, and no bullying. Blasting it forward with 3 C's, courage, confidence, and collaboration. Together today, you, listeners, myself, my guest, let's sparkle and seek understanding, to think out of a box, or no boxes at all, but to be open-minded as an open parachute. So let's begin with a daily salutation that Carol and I did for 40 years every morning. I'm going to say it's a brand new day, and your response is, it's never been lived before. Here we go. It's a brand new day.
It's never been lived before.
Ooh, I love it. I love it. Okay, you're going to meet Deidre here pretty soon, and she's on board. She's on board. It is a brand new day, and that's how we start our day. So speaking of being a brand new day, let's open our hearts as we ask the divine to shine light on our community and our world. I excitedly believe and hope in the power of the spiritual, and that Jesus, God, Spirit, whatever name you put on a higher being, is always with me and always with you. So we do not need to be afraid or troubled, saddened or depressed, but that joy and peace and love are an internal expression of that harmony that is already within us. We only have to reach deep and within and let it out. So let's center ourselves calmly, quietly. Take a deep breath in with the good, and out with doubt. Again, breathe in through your nose with hope, and out from your mouth with fears. Last one, slowly take a big deep breath in with joy, and out with worry or despair. In the name of Mother Earth, a Creator God, a Jesus, a Redeemer, the blowing winds of the Holy Spirit, high love, high light, high Jesus, high spiritual, thank you for being with us on this beautiful day. Today's quote I actually picked from the Bible, and it's Psalm 121. And it says, just real simple, the Lord will guard your going and coming, both now and forever. Psalm 121, the Lord will guard your going and coming, both now and forever. And when I read that this morning in my prayer corner, I thought to myself, yes, I have so often felt guarded, protected from bad weather to maybe a bad relationship or to maybe negativity that has hit me. But you know what? I always felt guarded and protected. All I needed to do was just trust and believe. Trust and believe now and forever that all will be well. I know those are simple reflections, simple comments, but maybe you can think about that today yourself. The Lord will guard you, your going and coming, both now and forever. So I'll end our prayer by lifting up our friends and family. May divine guidance and healing bless us today. May we hear a bigger message than just our own self-centeredness, and that we do and be for others as much. Amen. Oh, okay. I know I get a little spiritually involved here, everybody, and it's like that's my prayer life. That's my life, because if I don't center it on something bigger than me, things don't work out. So with that, it's a happy day together. KCIW, KZZH, and KSKQ, an even happier day because we get to hang out with a really, really cool person. And Deidre Schletter is my friend, and I've known her for a few years. She also goes by the name of Crown Vic, and she is right here with us. And the title of who she is, she's a dancer. She's a performer. She's breaking stereotypes. She's a drag king luminaire. And that's our topic today. What or who is a drag king? Deidre, thank you for being here with me. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, Mike, absolutely. Absolutely. So have you been on radio before, Deidre?
I have not.
I know you're a performer and you've performed in many places. So this is going to be your luminaire debut of radio.
That it is. Correct.
Correct. So tell everybody, where are you right now?
Right now, I am in Long Beach, California. It's a beautiful sunny day here. Yes, wonderful weather here, and I'm sitting in my home.
Fantastic. And are you dancing around this morning?
I have been, yes, and late last night as well. I'm presently rehearsing for 3 different dance ensembles.
Ooh.
So it's a lot of work right now. It's wonderful.
Oh,
wonderful.
Tell me more about these.
Well, all 3 of them are from different choreographers. I'm going to mention their names because they're wonderful. Makita is one choreographer, Jermaine McGee, and Joshua Schnell. And all 3 of these dance numbers are they're spiritual to me in one way or the other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And what do you mean by that?
Well, one, I would say literally is a spiritual. The music that they chose, the moves that they're having us, the movements that they're having us do is directly speaking to spirituality. And then one is an African dance, and that also is speaking to culture and history through storytelling through dance. And a third one by Joshua is more of a adorable, fun, abstract concept. But to me, all movement and dancing brings out is spiritual.
Ah, very cool. How long have you been dancing, Deidre?
Oh, since I was a child, dancing in my room. Yeah.
And with music playing or no music playing, or tell me more.
With music, usually with music playing. And especially if there was a piece of furniture that I could get up on to dance.
I love it.
If I could get up on a table or bounce on a couch or jump off of the couch and roll onto the floor, I would be doing that.
Oh my God, I love it. I can just see you as a 2, 3, or 4-year-old just bouncing around and grooving and moving. Oh, how fun. Oh man. And tell me about the family life that you grew up in then.
The family life, 2 working parents that are both doing well today. They're living in the Bay Area. They're in their, not my dad's 91, my mom's 87.
Wow.
They're doing very well, and they're dancing.
They are.
They do line dancing, and I don't know all the different names of the dances, but they're dancing as well.
Wow. So you literally come from a dancing family.
I do.
I
do.
That is awesome. Now, do you have siblings too that are dancers, or no siblings? Or?
I have a brother and sister. I'm the only one that's really danced on stage, I guess.
Okay.
But my brother is a music composer. Eben Schletter, yes.
Okay.
He's done music for SpongeBob, many other things.
Wow.
Yeah, and my sister has raised 2 sons.
Okay. Fabulous.
Yeah.
Oh, what a great family. What a great family. And I know I met you a couple years at a Pride in San Diego, and you were just so joyous, so happy. And also you were an incredible, compassionate person at Pride as we walked around and saw everybody else celebrating or some people just trying to get into the groove of it, I guess, But your attitude was always perfect. And I can tell in your voice today that is still going on in you.
Thank you so much.
Yep,
Thank you so much.
For sure. Okay, you mentioned dancing on stage. So when was your first time dancing on stage? And tell us a little bit about some of this.
Well, I'll start with the drag king history a bit in terms of performing.
Okay.
We did not even call ourselves drag kings back in the day. We were just male impersonators.
Oh.
I don't remember exactly when we started using the term drag king.
Okay.
I really can't remember. But it really wasn't a thing like the drag queens, which were already present and we had knowledge of even when I was a kid in the Bay Area. And so there were no places for us to perform. There were no stages for us to perform. We couldn't get into the clubs, even in the Castro district in San Francisco. It just wasn't something somebody wanted to see. And so we would go to coffee shops, late night coffee shops, move the tables around, and we would perform in places like that. Yes. So that was the start.
Wow.
That was the start. Yeah.
And give me a time period. Are we talking 2000s or what are we talking about?
Oh, late 80s.
Late 80s. Okay.
So I was in college, and so like around 88, 89. And then, there were bars and clubs that were popping up, like lesbian clubs and bars, and once in a while you could get a performance in those. Yeah.
So were you a troupe or were you an individual?
We were individuals in San Francisco who all together, we didn't call ourselves a troupe, but we were a troupe, but we didn't like call ourselves that. And then when I moved to LA, I was just a lone wolf. I still am.
And so let me go back to San Francisco when your first area of dancing. Were they paid gigs? How did it come about? How did you do that?
Okay, so when we decided we were going to do perform as drag kings, right?
Okay.
As male impersonators. We took it very literally, my little group, okay? We took it very literally. So like we did not even want to dance and collect money because in our minds, in societal terms, women danced for money.
Oh.
So we were like, well, we won't even take money because we weren't thinking of making it a living at that time. It was art. It was us trying to find ourselves and to move in ways that we wanted to move physically and dress how we wanted to dress physically, to make that point and to just put that out into the universe as well. The drag queens are so big and loud, and we just wanted to say, well, we have our commentary also. Okay, so for us, it was about not wearing makeup and sort of looking more on the drab side because that's what society had men doing, right? They're in their suits, like the man in the gray flannel suit. That was right, in the gray. There was a movie called that.
Right.
So we were about getting rid of the femininity and objectifying and showing the restrictions even on maleness.
Got it.
That's not as exciting to look at as drag queens, so they sort of had a point.
Right.
Now today, makeup is okay.
For drag kings.
For drag kings today, makeup is okay. Color is okay. Outfits, fantasy elements, sci-fi elements, a lot of costume play things have been incorporated And so it's completely different now.
Right. Right. And I'm thinking of the websites and the shows that I have seen you perform online that I have watched, and you're an incredible dancer with your moves, first off, but your makeup with the sideburn or your mustache or your eye makeup is just phenomenal as you're becoming this male dancer is what you are. And I love it.
Thank you so much.
You're breaking all of society's stereotypes, Deidre. You are truly a luminaire.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. It's been a big part of my life. I've been doing it a long time, and I'm incredibly thankful to my friends that they're not with me anymore. They're not. They've moved on to a different world now. But I'm so thankful that we all had each other to step into this and to start performing together. Yeah.
And where can listeners see you in action, Deidre? Because I think that speaks louder than even a radio interview. To see you perform.
Well, if you want to see me live, I move about California mostly.
Okay.
So the Bay Area, Southern California.
And the Bay Area meaning San Francisco.
San Francisco, yep.
Okay.
And the surrounding cities. It really moves all over the place. Last year, I went to a Boston festival. I was in Seattle, Washington. There's an Emerald City Kings Ball that Seattle, Washington has.
Oh.
I believe they're in their 4th year.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how does somebody find this? Do you have a website, or do they just Google Drag King performances, or do they I love your name, Crown Vic. How'd you come up with Crown Vic?
Well, that's not what I started with when I was younger. I had different names when I was younger, and this is the one that I've had the longest. I wanted to come up with a name that was retro Americana, that suggested an elder also, because there's history behind the name Crown Vic. And I felt like I could move in a lot of different directions with that name.
Okay.
Different performances. I could, different subjects.
Okay. And I interrupted you. So back to the live performances. So Seattle, to Boston, to Los Angeles, to the Bay Area. And again, how does somebody find out where you are?
So for me personally, the best thing to do is to follow me on Instagram.
Okay.
That's my one social media. It's under Crown Vic _the King. And that's where I post upcoming shows.
Okay. Perfect. And then I'm hoping that as a professional entertainer, a professional dancer, that this is lucrative for you financially as well as fun. True?
True. There's highs and lows. I actually do very well with private parties where I'm invited to perform at individual parties. Yeah. The clubs vary greatly. They vary greatly. So lucrative, not intensely lucrative.
Okay.
For a lot of the clubs. Yeah. So it really depends.
Right. Well, and that's often true with drag queens as well. For the amount of work and energy and the costumes and for what they put into it, the money doesn't always flow, so to speak. But it is entertainment, and I think people, I love paying for good entertainment, and you are definitely an entertainer.
Yeah, it really depends on which clubs you go to. I have certain places that I love performing, mostly because I like the people so much. And some of those are not the ones that pay very well. But I go if they invite me because I love the audience. They're very loyal, and I like the performers, especially if they're older performers who have been doing it a long time. Count me in, because I want to always support that. We came from a very different world. Those of us who started a long time ago. Yeah. So I try to stick with them.
Right on, right on. Deidre, it reminds me of oftentimes people say to me, Joanie, well, you're queer, you're a lesbian, so what are these drag kings and drag queens? Are they trans people? What's their sexual identity? Deidre, can you talk to us about that? Because that's like a stereotype that people just don't get.
You know what? A lot of us within the world don't get it either, in the sense that it's so blown open right now. There's so much growth right now. Trans people are growing up with that with a choice. That really wasn't a choice as much for my generation.
Yep, I hear you.
People weren't talking about that. And now I just met somebody yesterday who is in one of my dance classes, who I believe they're in their 20s and they're transitioning.
Okay.
And we got into this conversation, I honestly am not the person to speak to it other than just from my own path.
Yep, do it from your own path.
Right, from my own path. And so because that is an option now, through social media, it's just become more of a choice for a lot of people. And that has definitely that's definitely something that you see within the drag world, which is kind of, at first, there was just a lot of growing pains for me, because I'm like, wait a minute, what's the point? If we're being the opposite gender and then you've gone through, physical changes, how does that put you back into drag? But it does. That is what's happening right now. There's a huge increase, especially for drag kings, of trans performers. Trans men. Yeah, there's a lot of them. And I've been called, they've called me out, not in a mean way, but like, oh, it's so nice to see someone who's still, what was the term they used? Bi, like that I still represent gender.
Okay.
So some of them don't even represent gender, I guess, is what they're trying to do. But I'm not the best person to speak on that. It's really grown. I feel like right now for drag kings, we're going through a renaissance. There's more festivals than ever before. There's more places to perform than ever before.
Awesome.
More people know what drag kings are. And it's still mostly an unknown, but it's growing. And I love being in the place where something is expanding like that. There's so many options and you don't know where it's going to go yet.
So would you still identify a drag king as a male personator?
I do.
Okay.
But like I just said, if you're a trans man, what are you impersonating?
Right.
So that's how I can't answer these questions.
Right. And then I tried to put it simple for the listeners as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. It is complicated, and
for many people, gender is complicated in itself.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
And then you throw society's twists and turns in there, and people trying to understand. It just is difficult. It's difficult.
So when I'm trying to explain it, what is drag and why are people doing it? I'll be honest, people are doing it for very different reasons. But the one thing that we all have in common is that we're trying to express something, and we want to be seen as something.
There you go.
In that expression. And so like the difference for me as a performer in dance versus me in drag is that in drag, I really was commenting on what I was and what I wasn't in society.
Wow, that's powerful. That's powerful. Deidre, this is like we're just opening the box of everything. And I can't believe how fast this has gone by. We're down to like 30 seconds. And can you just sort of nail down a final comment about who you are in the drag king world?
Wow. I'm an old school classic drag king that is incredibly excited about the renaissance that it's going through right now.
And you love life, and you love people, and you don't judge anybody. You treat everybody with this ballistic joy, and that's what I love about you, Deidre. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Yep, for sure, for sure. I want to thank you, Deidre, for putting out your heart, putting out your words, your articulation, expressing your life in dance and in entertainment. And I hope that I get to see you live sometime. And meanwhile, listeners out there, again, you can go to Instagram and find Crown Vic the King, Deidre, and see what she looks like. And do you say she when you're performing? Do you use the pronoun she?
Mostly he.
Mostly he.
Mostly
okay.
he when I'm dressed up, but it will not offend me if you use another pronoun.
There you go. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. Thank you for saying that. Absolutely. Yep, for sure, for sure. So I can't. I've got to wind down here, Deidre. But I want to thank the listeners on the gorgeous coast of Southern Oregon and Northern California and the majestic Rogue Valley for being with us today on Joyously Free. And this is what we're hoping that Deidre did with you today: is put some joy, some tips, some hope, some loves about her world as a dancer, as a drag king into our life. We want to thank the team that helped make this happen: Mike Gorse on sound, Tom, Candace, and Rose at the studio here. We want to thank all the people that sponsor the show: Steve Van Cleve, Sally, and Todd, for making this happen. And mostly, we want to thank you, the listeners, for tuning in. Be open-minded to learn something really, really cool. I'm going to end with smile big and wear bright colors, and Deidre's final words are...
Support drag kings.
Yay! I love it. I love it. Oh, you are the best. You are the best. And we will be in touch. And thank you, everybody. Have a great day.